President Johndramanimahama has appointed a Yoruba man as an ambassador to UAE, United Arab Emirates.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to see what we have going on here on the stable of Civic Inspirations. First of all, I want to quickly use this medium to update you guys and also appreciate each and every one of you who have, asked about my friend that was abducted and the update. Yes, currently, yesterday, she was released after we paid huge sum of money. I'm going to go in details in another video where I want to see if there will be electricity. I'll sit down and give you full details of everything that played out, how it went down. But for her featuring on the channel, I don't know. I'm not sure. She is definitely going through medical treatment and she will also need therapy because she is, traumatized. That was a lot, guys. If I was not a strong person, or I am not a strong person to stand firm and still marry everything along, it would have also broken me to pieces. But I had to be strong for her and her family and also manage my own self and my family as well. So, guys, that is that. But to God be the glory, she is out and currently receiving medication. That is Nigeria for you. So most times when you see me come out here and lament or talk about Nigeria and what it is, most of you can relate. Even as Ghanaians, you can relate. Ask a Nigerian or a Ghanaian as well who have experienced Nigeria firsthand, one-on-one, to give you details, then you understand. But that's not why we're here. I see so many of you, my lovely, amazing subscribers, have been tagging me to this video that has been trending for the past days in the week, and I have been a kind of skeptical whether to react to this topic or not, because you see, I'm one person that if I must react to something and talk about something, I must give you my honest opinion. I don't know how to lie. I don't know how to sugarcoat things or make things, in a certain way to suit you people. All I'm trying to learn is how to be diplomatic, right? So that I could always balance things up. I'm learning to be diplomatic. But in terms of being diplomatic, the truth has to be told and said the way it should be, without sentiment, emotions, and bias. And what is the topic all about? Which is the President of the Republic of Ghana, my own president, and my good people of Ghana, appointing a Nigerian to represent Ghana in, I think, Dubai or UAE, something like that. We're going to see details. But first of all, before I go on to give you my own honest opinion about everything, I would love us to quickly take a look at these videos that I have here based on reactions and analysis of all we need to know how the whole thing went down. Yes, maybe based on what I have. Then at the end, as usual, best believe I will come back and give you my opinion, particularly on this highlight of today's episode, which is Nigerian becoming an ambassador for Ghana. Oshe baddest. Now let's do this.
Them to serve with diligence and integrity in order to strengthen the nation's diplomatic relations. The ceremony held yesterday at the Jubilee House forms part of Ghana's ongoing efforts to foster international cooperation and promote the nation's interests abroad. The list of appointees are Mr. Victor Samuel, Mr. Victor Emmanuel Smith, Ambassador of Washington, D.C. Let me just go to our own. Alhaji Ahmed Rashid Tunde Ali, Ambassador Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates.
Johndramanimahama and China kofa Korea nibi and a picture that screens what does see. Eba na obeye no so ambassador to Korea was a hefa. And then no say boys dear who de kasa ho no so ankwankusi aga. And jo mo twas no mo tiom be kojocho. Ade chin so asan kofa for France aba. Say wasan you obi so ambassador of Ghana to UAE. Na me say Johndramanimahama dia oye dia me de menti ase na nsen o.
Thank goddess. Now, information coming in has that President Johndramanimahama has appointed a Yoruba man as an ambassador to UAE, United Arab Emirates. Now, I saw this on social media. So this one says that Bello Isiaka Babatunde, Yoruba to the world. Alhaji Ahmed Rashid Tunde Ali, a Yoruba, becomes a Ghana's ambassador to the UAE. This remarkable achievement is not just his alone. It is a pride for the entire Yoruba community in Ghana. It speaks loudly of who they are and how they are being viewed by their host. A people, excellence, hardworking, lawyer of high leadership qualities, excellence. Now, I saw another one which also wrote. So this is the Yoruba community in Ghana. And they said, Yoruba in Ghana. A Yoruba sun rises. Alhaji Ahmed Rashid Tunde Ali becomes Ghana's ambassador to the UAE. With great joy and immense pride, we announce that one of our own, Alhaji Ahmed Rashid Tunde Ali, has been appointed as Ghana's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates. This remarkable achievement is not just his alone. It speaks loudly of who we are, a people of excellence, hard work, loyalty, and leadership. Ambassador Tunde Ali's success reminds us that wherever the Yoruba stand, we lift our banner high and contribute meaningfully to national growth and global recognition. Today we celebrate him. Today we celebrate ourselves, the Yoruba in Ghana. His story is our story. His victory is our pride. Congratulations, Ambassador Ahmed Rashid Tunde. May your tenure bring greater honor to Ghana and everlasting pride to the Yoruba heritage. Written by Olusami Abayome. Now, this has become a trending story because in Ghana, there is a Yoruba tribe and there is also the Igbo tribe and other tribes. And you know what the Igbo tribes are currently being known for? Rising controversies. The Igbo king, today he is this, today he is that. And one of the people who were always fighting the Yorubas and asking Ghanaians to even sack them parking or even to, all the things, they support it. And even some of the things that happen, Ghana, the Igbo demo, sometimes are being fueled by a section of these people and some other Nigerian tribes. When you go to Nigeria, there is this tribal fiction. It's very rampant in Nigeria. And so when they see a Yoruba man being appointed as an ambassador to UAE by Ghanaian president, it's a big deal. So they have to celebrate. On social media, people are talking. Now, what do you make of the entire story? Do you think this is a step in the right direction, or the president, Johndramanimahama, is doing too much? Leave your comment in the comment section.
Mr. Victor Emmanuel Smith, ambassador designate to Washington, D.C., USA.
USA. Ambassador honor to say, Ocha Mahama. US for.
Next is Miss Mavis Amma Frimpong, ambassador designate to Paris, France.
France for. Ambassador to say, Ocha Mahama. France.
Alhaji Baba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed, High Commissioner designate to Abuja, Nigeria.
Nigeria for. Ghana for Nigeria. Ambassador to say,
Dr. Kumar Steam Jehu Apia, ambassador designate to Moscow, the Russian Federation.
Russia for some ambassador.
Mr. Kojo Bonsu, ambassador designate to Beijing, the People's Republic of China.
China, ambassador China for.
Alhaji Hamed Rashid Tunde Ali, ambassador designate to Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates.
UAE, Dubai, ambassador to
Professor Ohinieje is ambassador designate to Berlin, Federal Republic of Germany.
Germany for ambassador.
Alhaji Abdul Nasiruddin is ambassador designate to Ankara, Turkey.
Turkey for ambassador
Dr. Margaret Mewin Chebere is ambassador designate to Copenhagen, Kingdom of Denmark.
Denmark for ambassador Oba Onamama.
Mr. Labik Joseviani is ambassador designate to Malabo, Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea for ambassador
Ni Amasana Mwale is ambassador designate to Brasilia, the Federative Republic of Brazil.
Brazil for ambassador
Permit me to now invite my former Vice Chancellor, Professor Kwesi Obridanso, who is ambassador designate to New Delhi, India.
India for Ghana for India, ambassador.
It's now the turn of Ambassador Samuel Yaokuma, who is ambassador designate to New York, United States of America.
United States, ambassador. USA.
Mr. Godwin Baletum Amonzem is ambassador designate to Monrovia, Republic of Liberia.
Liberia, ambassador.
Mr. Ekin Sabroka is ambassador in situ designate and doubles as the director of state protocol.
Okay. Hey, now we see the one in Mantiu.
Mr. Gustav Kweku Sefedovlo, ambassador in situ designates chief of protocol.
Oh, okay. Now we move because the ambassador.
And finally, we have Mrs. Patience Kokui Gameli Kwame, ambassador at large designates and deputy director general, research department.
Now we move okay.
His Excellency will sign the oath book, but after our newly minted ambassadors are done appending their signatures to the book. Thank you.
This world is full of narratives and agendas. And if you don't do your independent research into subjects of public interest, you will eventually be carried away by the popular opinion, and you will end up being misinformed and fighting on the wrong side of history. If genocide is what you hate and want to protest against, then you should be protesting against the systemic killings of Christians in the northern and central parts of Nigeria. And when I see African leaders talk about Israel and Palestine, I get confused when we have a lot more of such killings happening in Africa. Don't you know about the genocide happening in northern Nigeria? Don't you know of the coordinated campaign to permanently displace Christians from the ancestral lands in Nigeria? Don't you know the Fulani militants and the militias are not just killing Nigerian Christians, but clearing lands to claim them, ladies and gentlemen? Have you seen this image before? This is the picture of states in Nigeria where Sharia law is enacted. The colors in green are the Sharia state, which means the federal constitution of the Republic of Nigeria is subordinate to the Sharia law within that region, which means in the event of perceived crime and blasphemy, they will apply the Sharia instead of the federal constitution that allows for a trial in the court of competent jurisdiction, which also means only one religion will be permissible, which is Islam, and any other group of people that will live in that region will have to stop practicing their religion and pay a jizya, which is a form of tax, to be allowed to live. And it wouldn't make any difference whether you are an indigene or that's your ancestral home. This is what this map and the Sharia law is all about. And the target in this case has been Christians and churches. Do you know that both the federal and the state government don't give a rat's ass about what's happening to Christians in Nigeria? Let me ask you this. Is it possible you don't know all these because your TV is usually on channels that shows you wars in Europe and in the Middle East and not in Africa? Or that the social media algorithm on your phone has made it such that only videos from Palestine and Ukraine is all you see, even when our fellow black people are dying every day in the most gruesome manner in Nigeria? Islamists are chopping the heads of Nigerian Christians in the north every single day. Every day they attack families and towns in isolation in Nigeria and unalive all of them while shouting Allahu Akbar. Do you care to know more about that, or you don't? You are busy shouting and protesting for Palestine at the US summit as an African and in the major cities of the Western countries, forgetting that there is a worse genocide in slow motion in Nigeria. Already, the world doesn't care about us. African issues aren't on the minds of the Western powers. Already, they don't care for us or what happens to us except for what we have. And we here, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, many people being programmed not to care about our own selves, but protesting about what's happening elsewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, the level of misinformation and hypocrisy in the world is just overwhelming. The double standards of the West should make we, the African people, think deeply about our future. The entire UN summit forgot to say anything about what's happening in northern Nigeria, as if the people there don't matter. Meanwhile, 52,250 Nigerian Christians have been murdered since 2009 and counting, and farms taken over by armed herdsmen. Ladies and gentlemen, do their lives actually matter to the UN and to you as a fellow African? Everything happening points to the fact that if there isn't an immediate and a deliberate military force to fight back against these jihadist movement in Nigeria, they will continue to kill and displace all non-Muslims until they turn the entire country into an Islamic state under a Sharia law. Who is going to stand up to them when the federal government of Nigeria is looking the other way? Chaos is spreading across Nigeria from the north. The green state in the picture includes the following hotspots for Islamic jihadist attacks in Nigeria. It includes Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Benue, Plateau, Niger, Taraba, Kaduna State, all of these states. I repeat, Borno State, Yobe State, Benue, Plateau State, Niger State, Taraba, and Kaduna. That's 8 out of the 36 states in Nigeria. The plan is to expand and conquer more states in the foreseeable future. You can only imagine the level of terror it will be in Nigeria when the number increases to every part of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely clear that the UN isn't thinking of what to do next about Nigeria. And it's also clear that AU has thrown up its hands in the air in despair. We are on our own. The Christians in the northern part and central part of Nigeria needs our help. The Nigerian government has turned a blind eye on them. The Islamic jihadist groups wants to turn the country, Nigeria, with nearly 150 million population of Christians, into an Islamic state, ladies and gentlemen. They are therefore beheading, setting churches on fire, homes on fire, burning families in their homes, and shooting at will. In the north, if you are a follower of Christ or a person who stands for human rights and care about Africa, this is the time to speak up against it until our voices are heard from all over in Africa. We must show the same support we show for what we see in the war in Palestine. This is right here with us. The media has chosen to show other things instead of the stories of this issue, even in Nigeria. The world legacy media is silent and unbothered, ladies and gentlemen. But we, the concerned people on social media, cannot sit aloof. We must speak up. Speaking up for them today may force the hand of the Nigerian government to make a move that might save a life, one person's life, a family, or a village. Therefore, don't be silent, especially not at this time, ladies and gentlemen. As black Africans, we must understand that what happens to us is up to us to deal with. Our security, our health, and economy is our priority. Nobody is coming to our aid, and therefore, we need to figure out ways to solve our problems. Like I've said in the past, this issue has the tendency of crossing borders in the next 3 years to every part of this continent if care is not taken. Remember, this thing has lingered on since the inception of Boko Haram in 2002. It has been 23 years, and in that time, ladies and gentlemen, many other factions and branches have sprung up. Today, that part of Nigeria has since become one of the world's most fertile places for breeding such terrorist groups. So speaking up and throwing a protest is not only about protecting the lives of Christians in Nigeria, but will ultimately be about protecting our own lives everywhere we are on the continent. Our national sovereignties must be protected. Our religious freedoms must be protected, and our heritage requires protection. There is only one race, ladies and gentlemen, the human race, and the free will to choose a religion and its practices is God-given. No one should be allowed to suppress it or deny anyone from exercising that right. The people of Nigeria must stand up. The government of Nigeria must do better. This is an existential threat and must therefore be met with the requisite force. The killing of Christians needs the world's attention, and everyone watching must play a role in making this happen, ladies and gentlemen. This push must continue until it stops. In my heart of hearts, ladies and gentlemen, I know Nigeria will be great. I only look forward to that day when that one leader shows up on the scene. That day is all I wait.
All right, first of all, thank you so much for watching and staying through. Oh my God, of all we have seen here, I really want to pick out this particular topic and touch on it, right? Good. So based on all I have heard from research, first of all, let me put it out here that I, Chiviki Inspirations, I am not in any way, shape or form making this video to demote, demean, demarcate anyone, any country, any citizen. And I, Chiviki Inspirations, I am not in any position, way, shape or form to detect or tell the leaders, particularly the president of Ghana, what to do in his leadership as a leader and as a president. After all I'm interested in is trying to point out our own issues from our own leaders. I was raised right to, first of all, focus on what concerns me first. But why I'm interested in this is because this has to do with Nigeria versus Ghana. Best believe if it is just for Ghana, I would not feel the need to talk about it, right? But be that as it may, based on research, what I heard, this said person appointed as the ambassador for Ghana, first of all, as we've seen, is a Yoruba man alongside other Ghanaians that were appointed on the same day, the same time, just like we've seen. And this man, as we know, based on history, according to Ghanaians, have also said that Nigerians have, or the Yoruba tribe of Nigeria has history and relationship with Ghana. I don't know details of how that is. Like I've always learned, some Gap people migrated even before the independence of Ghana and on and on. You see, when it comes to history that I did not witness, I read, I don't hold it so much to heart. I just take it as one of those things that, you know, have happened in the past and is still ongoing. So be that as it may, that the man is representing the good people of Ghana and UAE. If you ask me personally, what do I think, or what is my take on that? First of all, I want to let us understand that of all I have observed, from the pattern and the leadership of the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Johndramanimahama, I have seen the pattern and the approach he's using, which is the pattern of Pan-Africanism, trying to follow the blueprint of his predecessor or our predecessor, Sir Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, late, of old, who tried to unite Africa, right? And be that as it may as well, he has a relationship and connection with Nigeria. I tend to understand that. That is why he's always being so diplomatic when it comes to the issue of Nigeria and Ghana. And best believe me, I do not even have so much to say about that, because that is his leadership and that is his position and his authority to do what he deems necessary and important, which might not be suitable for all Ghanaians as a citizen. But streamlining it down to a Nigerian's opinion coming from me, I would say I have never seen where a Nigerian, right, has appointed a Ghanaian man to represent Nigeria as an ambassador. Now, if you ask me, I want to throw it open. I don't know if this is a constitution or is in the constitution of Ghana that a Nigerian that is, neutralized as a citizen of Ghana is permitted to partake in the political affairs of the country. I don't know. But if that is what the constitution says, then I would say on one hand, it is permitted and it is right. But if it is not permitted and the constitution, the law that is binding on the Republic of Ghana, does not permit it, whether by neutralization, by birth, by any which way possible, a person of another race, another country becomes a citizen, is permitted to be a representative as an ambassador or high commissioner for the country Ghana, then I would also say it is all shades of wrong if the constitution does not permit it. Right? If this is not what is acceptable, if acceptable by the law and the constitution, then I would say it doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't augur well with me, because it will definitely raise eyebrows, which is happening currently, that most Ghanaians are saying this is uncalled for. The leader is putting foreigners, other nationals first before Ghana. And some are saying it has never happened, which I tend to reason with, right? But be that as it may, I still stand on the grounds that if it is not constitutional, then I believe there's an error somewhere, which I cannot break down in bits, because I'm not in the mind and in the heart of the president and the leaders of Ghana to know why they did that. The other time I saw also, because it doesn't concern me, I think the Chinese or one white race that I learned is neutralized in Ghana, being an ambassador too. So it's two different races now, as I've seen currently, representing Ghana as high commissioners and ambassadors for other countries. And I'm like, wow, this is really happening. But you see, life is unpredictable. Anything can happen, right? And when it happens, it gives us cause to sit down and retrospect, asking questions. Why is this happening? Why is the leader or the leaders taking this step and actions? Why? Is it for the sake of Pan-Africanism? But on the contrary, I want to also, throw more light to say that, you see, no matter what it is, if it is not constitutional and it is not a thing for Ghanaians or Ghana as a country and as a people to take such action, then a lot needs to be questioned. And to me, I would say a Nigerian should not be in position, if it is not allowed, to represent Ghana for any reason whatsoever. Even though you might want to say the Yoruba race are, a kind of, calm, collected, and reasonable people. They have been in Ghana, they've settled in Ghana, they don't have issues with Ghana. Then if you flip it, other tribes of Nigeria, they will also say, oh, because it is Yoruba, that's why you people are being tribalistic. An Igbo man, you stood against an Igbo man for this, that, and now you are standing, it has to do with Yoruba, you are supporting it. You see where the whole issue comes up now. So I still stand on the fact that if it is accepted by your constitution, if it is allowed by your constitution, who am I? But if it is not allowed, then I say it's all shades of wrong and should not be condoned or accepted. But if you flip it again, you will also need to ask questions. Why are the leaders taking this action? But be that as it may, personally, I don't delve into country's political issue, but because this has to do with a Nigerian man, that's why I'm coming in to speak and air my opinion. So I throw more light in the comments for me. Is it accepted in your constitution that a foreign body who is naturalized, has become a full citizen, can represent the country as a Ghanaian, or a Nigerian Ghanaian representing? I don't even know how that works. Let me know. We are all here to learn. And this is not to criticize, condemn, berate or belittle, demean, demote anyone, like I said, but just having a matured conversation. So I don't want anybody to take it personal. Just kindly, maturely air your opinion. But let me sum it up by saying that I bet you that if the table should turn and this should be, focused on Nigeria, I bet you Nigeria would never appoint a Ghanaian man to represent them in any way, shape, or form. Forget about this online banter. Let's face reality and face fact. Nigerian leaders from start to finish that I know will never, I mean never, allow such a thing to happen in Nigeria. But seeing it happening from Ghana depicts a lot of things, a lot of meanings that is so ambiguous that I cannot explain. I'm not a Ghanaian. I don't know much about Ghana politics. I don't know much about Ghana constitution because I'm bent on focusing on my country. But from the little I've put out here, it should give you an idea to sum it up and know that it is based on what your constitution says. But if it is a personal decision, then I believe you all as Ghanaians should be in best position to ascertain, to dialogue, to talk about it and address it squarely, and not me, right? I'm not in that position. From the way I was raised, I learned to respect my people's boundaries, just give my opinion and don't enforce it on people, and let people air theirs constructively and respectfully. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It has happened. It has happened. What is the way forward? Let's share our thoughts in the comments, right? But looking at the other videos as well tells us a lot from what my brother Tum Network Cyrus has shown us today about what is happening in Nigeria, which I believe is most of the reason why Ghanaians all over the world would always frown at a Nigerian, no matter the tribe, partaking in the political affairs, business of Ghana. Nigerians should not even be the people I see coming from a Nigerian. No, I don't want to be very, very, very dismissive, but giving rooms for benefit of doubt. I know some Nigerians are different, but Nigerians should not be the people that I see that should even dabble into Ghana's political issues, not Nigerians. Nigerians should focus on building Nigeria, right? Fixing Nigeria and minding their business and focusing on what concerns us most importantly, because we have greater problems as Nigerians, liking to any other country, not even Ghana. Anyway, this is where I want to draw the line. Share your thoughts in the comments, like and stay subscribed if you like it on here. And at the end of the day, I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.